Hey girlies, it's your girl back with another video. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a chit chat get ready with me, and we're going to be talking about the tea that was Selling Sunset season 8. It was a lot of tea going on and I have a lot to say. I even made my notes. I'm gonna show y'all. When I do videos like these, I really like to have all my points written down so I know what I'm talking about and I don't forget something. And I just want to show y'all because I was very thorough with this season. Okay, so these are my notes. If you're new here, thank you so much for watching. My name is Karina. I do a lot of makeup related content. I don't do as many chit chat get ready with me like I thought I did, but I like to do these a lot. Makeup related content, maybe vlogs here and there. I would hope that you would subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future content, and also give the video a big thumbs up if you like it. That way it can help me with the algorithm. But yeah guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I don't know that I will list everything that I'm using in the description box, but if y'all are curious about anything, just let me know. I don't know, maybe I'll show you guys what I'm wearing. I didn't wash my face this morning. I'm just gonna go in with the makeup. I'm just feeling a little lazy today, but it's fine. I did wash my face last night. I'm not gonna go in with any primer because I'm gonna be using the Patrick Ta foundation. So I gave in, y'all. I wasn't gonna buy this and then I got it. There's this girl that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Brianna. I will link her Instagram right here. She's so cute. She's a fellow Virgo queen. And so she said she really liked it. And you know what? It's something about Virgo women that I just trust them. I don't think I trust all of them, but I just trust them. I just really trust her opinion. She said it wore really well. I think her skin might be a little bit less oily than mine. And I have used this once already because I did try already filming this video and I had to scratch it because I was feeling too rushed because I had to go to work and I didn't give myself enough time. But I wanted to use this again today, and I did really like how it wore the first time around, even like under my mask at work, which is kind of big. It didn't get as oily as I thought it was going to be, so I was very much surprised by that. But I think it was also because I didn't wear a primer, or I didn't wear like my sunscreen and my serum under it, I think, like I usually do. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna go in with my Oil Sucker primer today, just because I haven't really found that I really like this. I haven't really found that it performs how I want it to perform, considering it's Oil Sucker and I'm like an oily mess. Y'all know how much of an oily mess I am, and this didn't really do the long-lasting performance like I thought it was going to. But maybe I'm not using enough, so let me put more today. I will say that it does control the oils the moment that you put it on. Like, it sucks everything up right then and there, but I don't know that it's the best for long wear. But it says, it claims that it is, you know, and that's like what I'm having like gripes with. All right, y'all, let's get into the nitty gritty. Season 8 was coming off the backs of season 7 and 6, low-key. I think once Chelsea came in, the first season that she was on, she was kind of like laying low, right? I feel like. And then the next season that she was in there, I think that's when Brie came in, and then she just started talking shit about Brie. I'm also want to start off by saying that this is a very biased perspective because I know who I like and I know who I don't like. It will be made very clear in this chit chat get ready with me. So the season starts off with, there's drama, I think episode 1 and 2, because Mary was on somebody's podcast, and or no, I think they were doing like a Q&A or something, and they asked Mary, oh, who's the biggest pot stirrer in the office, and she was like, Chelsea. At the time it was Chelsea, and honestly, if he was really a kiki bitch, she just would have been like, oh yeah, no, you know, Mary, that's funny because you're right, you know, I am a big pot stirrer. But Chelsea went off camera. This was like not, the show wasn't even filming at this point, and she like texted Mary. She's like, keep your name out of your fucking mouth, da 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 da, just being mean. And I don't think Mary's intention was to be mean. I think she was just calling it how it was, being a fun bitch. And she's like, yeah, no, Chelsea is a big pot stirrer. We could have all just laughed about it because if you're on reality TV, mind you, I am not, so I don't really know the ins and outs. But I just feel like these girls know. Producers love the drama. So she's like, oh yeah, Chelsea, like she's a big pot stirrer. She does shit on purpose. But anyways, Chelsea texts Mary and is like, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. And I just feel like it didn't have to be all of that, you know? Like, it could have just been like a hee hee ha ha, like, oh my gosh, Mary, you're so silly, but you're right moment. And then they could have just like did it. And then it ended up being something that was like dragged out more in the show. Oh my gosh, this is like really tightening right now. It's like super, super dry. Can y'all see it? I'm just hoping that this looks better after I put my foundation on. And so then whatever, they proceed, and then we realize I also have my coffee, y'all. I like to start my mornings with my coffee. It is early in the morning. It is 8:23 a.m. so I'm getting ready before my appointments today. What was I saying? We also discover that Cassandra is not brought on this season, which I was very happy about because I didn't like her. I didn't like her either. So this is the consistency of the foundation. It does run a little bit. Yeah, she was not back this season. I felt like her and Chelsea's relationship was very interesting. Like, there were literally episodes where like Chelsea was like, oh, I really like that she doesn't like Chelsea. That makes me like her even more. Like, that's just so weird. Like, being friends with somebody just because y'all don't like the same person is weird bitch behavior. But anyways, I digress. Then there was drama about one of Chelsea's outfits. I'm gonna post it right here. It was an outfit where she was wearing like a suit moment, but like the pants of it was a really tiny skirt. There was moments where they would catch the back of it and like her booty butt cheeks were low-key hanging out a little bit. And you know, I think with stuff like that, it's very sticky because a lot of the girls on there be showing a lot of titties throughout the show. I think some of them are a little bit less modest than others, but I think Chelsea did a lot of that. She always showed a lot of cleavage. So I guess she knew she could get away with that. So I guess she didn't think that wearing a tiny skirt would be an issue. So whatever, there's people talking about it at the Brokers Open. And then I think Mary brings it up to Jason. She's like, oh, people are complaining to me about it. Da da da. Should we tell her something about it? Tell her to tone it down. And then Jason and Brett are like, well, you know, I've always felt really uncomfortable talking to y'all about what to wear. They just didn't want to tell Chelsea themselves, or like, I guess by themselves, because they didn't want it to be weird. Chelsea came over asking for a brochure or something, right? Or I can't remember what it was. And then I need to cut my mustache hairs, but I'm not worrying about that today. I quickly did my eyebrows off camera. I've been doing something more like, I don't want to say more natural. It's not natural, but I do like a fill-in moment, but I don't do it like as heavy as I had been. Anyways, I was saying, I think they were having a conversation about something, and then Brett actually made a comment to Chelsea about what she was wearing, and then I think he just took the opportunity because they were all together right there to go ahead and tell her about it versus like pulling Chelsea to the side themselves. Since Mary was there, it just made it a little bit more of a comfortable situation for them to bring up the situation. Chelsea got really upset. She took it very defensively, which I can understand because she's probably thinking like, what do you mean? Like, y'all know I be dressing crazy always, and now you have a problem with it? Like, why now do y'all have a problem with it? So I get that part of it, but I think the way she reacted was very like, okay girl. But we also live for the drama, right? So I think she definitely played her part in the drama the way she should have for the show. But I think the way people react on reality TV and stuff, it's also very telling on their character, because this means they are also okay with being seen as this. I feel like if I am not a liar, if I am not an ugly person, I would never want to even portray myself to be that on reality TV. And when I say ugly person, I mean like somebody with an ugly heart that is just mean, like mean girl vibes. That's what I mean by ugly. So Chelsea was mad at Mary, saying why didn't she just pull her to the side? But I think that wouldn't have went well either, because if that would have been the case, she would have been like, Mary, who are you to tell me what to wear? Like, you're not even my manager. I feel like any way the situation would have been approached, it would have gone left. Ultimately, Chelsea blamed Mary for that situation when it was really Brett who brought it up to Chelsea in that moment. But whatever. All right, so the next point that I have was about the sit down that Chelsea and Mary had, and they were talking about the situation where Mary had called Chelsea the biggest pot stirrer. They had a conversation about it. Chelsea said she was very upset that Mary had assassinated her character and that her husband stepped in to help her, and then Mary was like, well, he wanted to step in because he didn't like that his wife was being attacked. Okay, like he was just stepping in for his wife, and I think that was very like respectable of him, even though sometimes I do agree that men should not be getting into women's business. But I feel like if my man wants to defend me, then he wants to defend me. He's probably seen that you're being a weird ass, and so he's gonna do what he needs to do, because he's not gonna let nobody talk to his wife like that, period. Then when Mary was like, Romain didn't like that his wife was being attacked, Chelsea's like, attacked, Mary? Those are big words. Like, girl, you just said that Mary was assassinating your character. Like, that's a big word to use and a big accusation to make as well. But you know, people like this, people like Chelsea, are very manipulative. And like I said before, this is a very biased take, and it might be a hot take, but but I've experienced people like Chelsea in my life, and you just gotta be very careful because they will twist, and I'll get to that later because we're still not even in the thick of it yet. But anyways, I feel like she very much manipulated that situation by saying, oh, in this moment you're hurting me by saying I'm attacking you, when it was like literally the whole situation was because Chelsea was like talking shit to Mary when it didn't have to be that. But anyways, let's see what else do we have here. So in this season, Maya is back for a couple episodes. They kind of just like brought her back to like, you know, kind of like a nostalgic moment. I really liked her as a castmate when she was in the cast because she wasn't really a big pot stirrer, but she kind of just did talk about all the truth that was being said. Like she kept it real with everybody and she said what she had to say too. So I thought that was sweet. I think she was in town for business or something. Okay, the next point that I have is when Nicole finally apologizes to Chrishell for the whole situation that they had. I think this was even like maybe like last season, I think. I can't remember. But there was a comment that somebody made under one of Nicole's pictures. Basically, they were like, oh my gosh, Nicole, you're so pretty. And then they also made a comment within that same comment that was like homophobic adjacent, kind of sort of. So basically, Chrishell felt a way that Nicole would even choose to comment back and interact and engage with a comment that was attacking Chrishell's sexuality. So she was like, why would you even engage with that? Like it's giving that's how you feel. And you're like kind of like agreeing with it by like saying thank you. So then they have a whole moment in the office where like everybody is like kind of like getting on Nicole, and I kind of felt bad for her in this situation. Mind you, I don't like Nicole either, but it was giving like they were all ganging up on her to say I'm sorry to Chrishell just for the sake of being like a big drama moment on the show, which I thought was interesting. I didn't think it needed to be all that, but the thing about Chrishell, she gonna get her apologies made to her. I can respect her for that. All right, y'all, so this is where it starts getting juicy. I don't know, somehow I skipped the episode where Amanda and Bree sit down and have a conversation about the tea that is about to be spilt on camera. Amanda is like a new girl. She wasn't really a castmate this season. I think she was trying to get on the show, and the information that she brought in kind of helped her sort of be on a few episodes. Amanda is one of Bree's friends, and she had juice this season. So basically, she brought to camera that Chelsea's husband had been seen with another girl in a hotel. That's the tea that she told Bree on camera. And so then after that, there's a scene where Bree and Chelsea sit down for Bree to break the news to Chelsea. Mind you, I've already seen some podcasts and some interviews of things that happened behind the scenes, of how things really went down. And this is where it starts to get really sticky icky, okay? I'm gonna insert a TikTok because I said sticky icky because there was a little girl.
Mommy's gonna leave and shut the door, and you get all to yourself in here, and in the bathroom you could say any bad words you want. Okay, so I'm gonna leave, and then you're gonna say all the bad words you ever wanted to say, okay? And then I'll come back and check. When I shut the door, you get to say all the bad words you want. Deal? Okay, go ahead.
Icky sticky. Bro. Good.
Checking in, did you say some?
Yeah.
Did it feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to say a few more real quick?
No.
You're finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you want to see?
Do I want to see? You want me to watch?
Yeah. Can
Okay.
you look? Can you look what I did now?
Yes.
Look what I said.
Okay, so anyways, it starts to get sticky because everybody starts to feel a way about Bree because supposedly it is now her fault, and it's very shady of her to bring this stuff to camera when I don't think it was her fault at all. I think, as production likes to do, they find people that are involved with castmates and they ask them about what's going on in their lives. Like they ask them for tea. They're trying to dig for tea, and I know this because I have a client who was interviewed to be, so they're gonna have like a kind of like a housewives moment for the girls that are in the women's NBA. And so she's married to one of the girls that's on the team, and so they interviewed her to like, you know, maybe cast her for that show. And she told me that they probably didn't cast her because she wasn't giving them any juicy info. Like there was info she could have fed them, but she just wasn't trying to go there, right? So like production likes to do, they're gonna try to dig for info for people and anybody involved in those circles. And so I feel like Amanda was gonna say what she wanted to say regardless if Brie had brought this to camera with Chelsea. And come to find out, Chelsea actually was the one to arrange the scene where Brie told her what was going on. So it like kind of painted the picture like, oh, Brie brought this to camera. No, Amanda did. Like Amanda is actually the one who we need to be mad at, not Brie. And I think it was very interesting and very crazy how Emma was so quick to just be like, fuck Brie and onto Chelsea's side. But honestly, I can commend her for that because she's like, I'm gonna stick beside my bitch, period. I fucks with that, but I guess it was just on the wrong standing. And I think Chelsea took advantage of that whole situation and was like trying to break the relationships that Brie had with their mutual friends, being Emma and Chriselle. I also made a point in my notes that, okay, maybe it didn't need to be a storyline, but Chelsea, and there was an interview, she said that she knew production was gonna make this a storyline anyway. But I really feel like she wanted this to be out there. I feel like she did, and she kind of sort of manipulated everybody in a way so that it would be spun, so that Brie would be the one that was at fault for the whole thing. And I think this is where I mentioned previously, you gotta be very careful about people like this because they will twist and turn everything that they need to in order to paint the picture for other people about a specific person that they don't like. You gotta be very careful with people like that. And I think, and I say this because I've experienced this, and it's just like, Brie never did anything to Chelsea. And Chelsea, she was over here in last few seasons just giving her hell for just living her life, literally. Very weird bitch behavior. And now she wants to say, oh, I was doing that. So I saw an interview where Chelsea was talking about, oh, I watched the podcast with Manny MUA and Laura Lee. They had Chelsea on their podcast, full coverage, and she was talking about the whole situation, She was like, oh yeah, you know, I said some things, I did some things in previous seasons because I felt like I needed to keep my job. So like, I just feel like it's so crazy that she says things to like excuse her behavior, but it's just like very contradictory because like, okay, what if, let's say Brie did bring this to camera to be shady or whatever. Why can it not be the same thing on her side? Oh, I wanted to keep my job. Oh, I wanted to make it juicy for camera. It's literally the same thing that Chelsea was doing to Brie in the last season. Like it was just crazy. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention that regardless if Brie was intentional about bringing it to camera or not, I really feel like Chelsea had more power to wield the situation and dead the situation on camera more than she is letting it off to be. And she could have simply just chosen to not talk about it as many times as she did on the show, but she still did. All right, I'm gonna go with my Makeup by Mario palette in honor of him coming out with the new palette. I may or may not pick it up. I'm not sure yet. I really like cool tones, and that palette is literally everything cool tones, but this is the one that he came out that looks like this, very rosy and cute. I really like cool tone looks on me, so that's what we're doing today. And this season, there's a new castmate. Her name is Alana. I thought she was very sweet. I think like with any other reality TV, when there's a new member or when it's a very fresh season of a new show, people are very like subdued on the first season. It's almost like they're learning how to play the game. She comes in and she apparently is owner of Pioneer Town, which is like a small town somewhere. And so they take a trip, all the girls take a trip to Pioneer Town together. A couple of the girls don't go. I can't remember who doesn't. Brie doesn't go and Emma doesn't go. And I think Chelsea doesn't go. I think Emma doesn't go because she's supporting Chelsea in these hard times. But mind you, it's very interesting because Chelsea already knew. Like, this isn't like fresh juice to camera. Like, I guess it was just more to like egg it on for the camera, right? Whatever, for the storyline. So whatever, they go to Pioneer Town, and then it seems like Nicole, there's a scene where all the girls are sitting down at a table and Nicole is wanting to talk about Emma and how she apparently has things that needs to be aired out. Nicole was hinting at the fact that Emma was involved with a man that was married. So basically saying that she was messing around with a married man, which is obviously tea, because like, as a girl's girl, you don't need to be messing around with anybody who is married, has a boyfriend, etc. Like, you don't need to be doing that because like, you know, you wouldn't want that shit done to you. So don't be doing that. But then it seems like everybody at the table, they're like, no, don't. So Nicole doesn't end up really talking about it or like going into details about what it is that she wants to say. Later, she has a separate conversation with Alana by herself, and she brings it up again. So she's like, oh, Emma isn't one to talk about anybody's situation because she shouldn't be throwing stones at somebody with a glass house or something like that. So I thought that was very interesting. So it's really just giving Nicole trying to stir up some drama, or she's just saying it because she's like, oh, this is tea, let's talk about it. But it's interesting how like a lot of the girls basically have Emma's back and they don't really want to talk about it. So no conversation actually ends up being had about it. And so then, fast forward a little bit more, there's a scene where Chelsea, Emma, and Chriselle meet up to kind of have a conversation about everything that's been going on with the whole situation with Brie. And so they're talking about it, and then Emma's like, well, if Brie brought it to camera, just to bring it to camera, like that's so shady. I do not fuck with that. Obviously, girl, like I think we're all on board with that if that is the case. I just really don't think that's the case, right? But anyways, they're talking about it, and then Chelsea's like, call her. Then they have a conversation with her, and then Chelsea goes, well, I just would like to know if I'm breaking bread with my enemies or something like that. And then Brie gets pissed off and she hangs up the phone. And then it's just like, yeah, bitch, because it's just like, you know what the fuck you're doing. These hoes are annoying for even like playing with it. And so I get it. I literally understand Brie. I get it. And it's all really interesting because everybody already knew off camera. So it's like they're pretending to be concerned and this and that for the show. Take what you will with situations like this. And so then there's a scene where they find out that Nico was really sick and they end up having a funeral for him. Yeah, that was a very sad moment. I don't have any pets, so I don't really know what that is like. I cannot understand that feeling just yet. I would like to have pets one day, but it's just not a thing in my life just yet. At the funeral, Emma and Brie have a conversation kind of sort of about like their relationship and the direction that it has taken. Basically, they're just like talking about what has been going on, and Brie is just very hurt that Emma would kind of just like ditch her so easily, like without even trying to hear her out. And she was like talking about how it's just so crazy how she's riding so hard for Chelsea in these moments when Chelsea was being so ugly to her in the last season and the season before that, you know, talking about her family and saying it was disgusting and, you know, all these things. So she's like, when did you have my back? Like, I guess in the same way when it came to Chelsea. But I think with that, I think Emma was already Chelsea's friend before that, or they were just better friends. So I think she just had more of Chelsea's back regardless because of that alone. All right, y'all, I just finished my eye makeup and put up some lashes on. I've been liking these for a long time. These are the Style by Kiss. These are the Kiss lashes in the style Pompadour. These are perfect if you just want a little bit more extra fullness, but it still looks natural and it's not blocking what you have on your eyeshadow, because sometimes I'm like, I don't like to wear anything that's too full or too long, because then it's just like literally you can't even see the eyeshadow that I just worked on. But really have been liking these. Quickly wanted to mention those. But on to what we were talking about. I also thought that it was very interesting how Mary and Jason got like a matching tattoo with like the ashes of the dog engraved into it. I thought that was really crazy. It's giving very LA. I don't know a lot of people that have done that, or I've never even had heard of that before. And then we also see where Amanda, she had like an art show or like kind of like exhibition moment where she had been creating art and she finally had it on display for people to see and to bid on and to buy. So I thought that was really cool because I think you get to see a different side of Amanda that you wouldn't otherwise. And I feel like it makes a lot of sense that she would make art, because since she is a stager, you can tell that she has a bigger sense of creativity. I mean, she has like an eye for things, you know? And I think as a creative, you just have an eye for things. And I think her creative really like popped out with that one. And I thought that was really cool, especially to be able to see that other side of her that we hadn't seen really. And honestly, I think it opens up a major avenue for her, because in art, if you become like an art dealer, you get to meet other people that are in that same space that also like could be potential clients. So I thought that was really cool. With real estate, anybody can be a client. So you have to really connect the network to like find people and have them find you. Okay, and that's pretty much it for like the drama that happened that season. I'm just gonna like give you all my final thoughts, really like wrap it up. I did want to mention that I didn't like Amanda either. I feel like maybe I just don't know enough of her, but I didn't really like, I didn't think she was like a big moment on the show. Like, I think it was giving she wanted to be a mean girl and she wanted to be on the show, so she brought the juice that she knows she needed to bring in order to be on the show. So we'll see if they end up bringing that girl back and that Amanda girl back. I doubt that they will, but you never know. If she has all this tea, they might, because they know she can stir things up, and especially if she's friends with Bree, at least they know they'll have them as a back and forth to talk about things and just bring things to light. All right, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup off camera and then be right back. All right, y'all, the rest of my makeup is done. Hair is done. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody that tunes in, because y'all really like are choosing to like spend your time with me or put me in the background while you're doing something. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. It would really help me out. And yeah, guys, I hope to see you guys in my next one. But also, Love is Blind season 7 is coming out, or it already came out. I've been watching it. I have lots to say on that too, so watch out for that one. I think I'm gonna wait for the whole season to come out and then for like the reunion and everything to come out, just so I can, you know, say my piece about everything. But yeah, guys, I hope y'all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.